It's Laura here from Hyperstamper. Here is a lovely journal. This was a custom order request, and this wonderful customer of mine would like me to incorporate some fairies and elves. She has a passion for elves, so she wanted this to have a lot of elves in it, different than fairies. And yes, I have a collection of elf ephemera. It's amazing the collections I have. So if you ever want a custom journal, you can email me below. And if I have enough to make a special journal for you, I'm happy to do it. This one here, I used a vintage book, and then I put vintage crochet all around the cover. It was a plain cover. And then I pulled this image here from this, it's from this page actually, Fables and Fairy Tales. And I just think it's exquisite. And so I framed it with black and matching blue cardstock there just to frame it, because it is such a lovely piece with that fairy on it. The vintage beads here are spectacular. It was not easy to get these colors. I'm just about out of orange vintage beads, but I digress. Here is a lot of about 4 different kinds of crochet and lace there. And on the inside, I have this lovely little picture from the 20s, the 2 little elves asleep in bed, their little feet sticking out, and the little hat on the bedpost. This is an original page from the book Fairies and Enchanters from 1933. And here is another wonderful fairy aeroplanes page, and I turned it into a pocket. And in here, because this lady is Canadian, I got her this wonderful antique, very old map, and it says Dominion of Canada on it. It's Eastern Canada, where she's from, which is here. And I just thought she would get a kick out of that, having just a little piece of history in there from our country. Antique book page here, another little set of elves here, elf fairies, and then old friends grown older. And I just put a little booklet in there of all kinds of antique and vintage ephemera for her to journal in, and tuck that in there. And then just some, she also loves birds and nature, so I put some bird pieces in here. This is old flip chart paper, you can see that there. California Troubadour pages, beautiful poetry there, and just a really fun little recipe page here from a vintage cookbook. This is from the spine of another book, Fairies and Enchanters, and the book fell apart. I couldn't even repurpose it, but I was able to use this, and you'll see the cover of the book in a second. And so I made it into a belly band, and then here I have another little elf here from a Mother Goose children's book, and a little poem there about this little elf, and 3 journaling spots on the back for her. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I was pretty happy that I could reuse that spine. More children's book pages here. And this I pulled out of my book house from 1960. This is Through the Fairy Halls page. Lovely images here of fairies and little boy fairies down here. And then I turned that into a pocket and put this wonderful 1926 delineator page for what to eat at summer camp. How fun is that? Just really amusing and fun. I thought she'd get a kick out of that. And I'll tuck that back into its pocket. There we go. Everything in here is authentic antique and vintage ephemera, of course. I don't use anything commercial. Little vintage playing card here with a Victorian woman on it and a little dog. And then a 1920s banking note. And I pulled 2 page toppers here from antique books. One says A Fairy Went to Marketing, and the other says The Little Good People, which is a book about elves and leprechauns. Some 1950s receipts up there for fun. And just this very happy lady from the 50s doing laundry with her brand new washing machine. Just fantastic. Automatic. And this is a page from The Good Little People. There's a little leprechaun there. Awesome. Wonderful plate there. And over here is a plate from an art book. It's a snowy scene in Paris, France. So it's always fun to have a little bit of French ephemera. This is from a 1953 yearbook, and that's the seniors page. I just think that's the greatest photograph. Isn't that wonderful? Just terrific. Okay, and another lovely plate here. And We've got, this is really cool. This is from the early 1900s, and it was from a bird watcher's logbook. Now look at how wonderful that is. And they've got the different names of the birds here. A lot of these I have in my backyard. And then the times of year that you can find them. And it's on this beautiful blue paper. So I just think that's really special. But this is really, look at this, from 1930s children's book. These elves having a great time using the leaves as like a trampoline blanket. A receipt from 1953 from a dairy company. And then this great Canadian postcard here. Nighttime postcards are very desirable and have some value to them. This is from the early 1900s here, so I hope she enjoys that one. And then we have more vintage sewing book pages. This is a typing lessons book page, which is kind of cool. We all remember typing classes if you're our age. And then another children's book page here, and early 1900s botanical book pages, and I got a thread on my fingers, making me crazy. Just a log book here, and this is the committee's page from the 40s. She has cats, or a cat, so this is a cute little kitten page, and more botanical. It's just I just glued that down here just for prettiness. I just love it. Play and Laughter. That's one of my favorite titles. And this is the cover of that book I was telling you about. It came in 3 pieces, the back, the front, and the spine. They were not together. I just thought it was too cool to throw out, so I put it in here. Another more children's book pages there, and here's another wonderful elf page. Look at that one. Another one on the back. So I made that into a little journaling page, and more elves here, and an antique book or music sheet, journaling tag up here, more elves here. Actually, this is a brownie elf down here who wanted the moon, and a little one of my scrap antique and vintage ephemera booklets. And look at this one in this beautiful green, this little elf here, the mushroom. Oh, I just love it so much. And more vintage botanical pages. And this is a vintage page from the Birds and Their Nests and Eggs book. I keep forgetting the title of that properly. And then, yeah, the last page is the children's book page. So I hope she loves it. If you want to see more of my journals that are for sale, you can go to hyperstamper.etsy.com, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see them before they sell out. Wishful thinking. Bye.